Mrs. Gandhi, can you imagine any circumstances in which you might once again become Prime Minister of India?
I can certainly imagine the circumstances, but the question is whether I want to be or whether I'll agree to be or not.
What would be the terms under which you would agree to be?
No, it's not a question of terms. I don't want to be.
You often
But in politics, you can't make a very categorical answer. I didn't want to be in Parliament, and I told everybody I wouldn't stand. But here I am.
What do you think the Indian people saw in you? Did they feel that you had a particular sympathy for their cause? What made you the figure that you are in their eyes?
It's what I've done for them. It's what they've seen that I've done.
And yet they booted you out in 1977.
Well, I think booted is a strong word. We were defeated, but within less than a month after the defeat, they were coming back to me because there was such a very sustained malicious propaganda that people were taken in by it.
When people like your own parliamentary spokesman describe you as the woman to whom the gods have entrusted the destiny of India, what's your reaction?
Oh, I haven't even heard this phrase. I don't know who's used it.
Do you regard that kind of phrase as a meaningless extravagance?
Yes, and in India most speeches are full of this thing. If you see the addresses that are presented to anybody, not me, anybody at all, you will be full of phrases like this.
Do you ever feel that you have in any way abused the trust that the Indian people have put in you?
No, certainly not.
I'd like, obviously, because that's a question directed towards the state of emergency, which you declared in 1975, when you gave yourself very great powers, and you explained, if I'm right, when you wrote to the President requiring the permission to carry out the state of emergency, information has reached us which indicates that there is an imminent danger to the security of India. What was the precise nature of that danger?
I'm afraid you can't say anything with great precision.
But you talked to your people of a deep and widespread conspiracy of which you were sure they were aware. What conspiracy?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it, now? The whole subcontinent has been destabilized.
But this was an internal upheaval you were warning.
No, it was both. It was supported from outside.
But you required the special powers on the basis of internal upheaval.
But no, the question was, had it been only internal with no foreign interference, one could have dealt with it in a much easier way.
But you didn't even mention, with respect, you didn't mention foreign upheaval.
No, why should one mention everything? No, one doesn't mention everything at any time. Why should one?
Could I?
But it's very obvious when people have followed the doings of international agencies and who was present at India at what time. And what is happening today is borne out everything that we suspected earlier.
Can I put to you the findings of the Shah Commission, which was set up to inquire whether there were any cause to take you to court and have you condemned for excesses, abuses of power? In that report, they quote, on the basis for your requiring this emergency, no evidence whatsoever. Police reports, Home Ministry reports, your intelligence services had given you no evidence whatsoever.
It is not true at all.
What had they given you? What had they told you precisely?
It's not a question they're telling me. I'm Prime Minister. I have the business to know. And all reports do not come through police. They come through other heads of other states and very many other agencies. But they also had given those reports. How did Justice Matthew know, for instance?
Why?
And many other people who spoke at that time. This report is an entirely prejudiced, one-sided report. They've completely ignored whatever people had to say on the other side. Most of the people who have given evidence are government servants whose whole livelihood and future depends on what they said here.
Do you not respect Justice Shah? He was, after all, a former Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court judge.
Who had expressed himself very strongly against me and my policies before being appointed.
What had he said?
He had made speeches against us.